we started to see a gap in terms of innovation, creativity, and actually business applications. Well, the pain point I saw in Bloomberg, a retailer said that they'd spend anywhere from 5 to 10 million on market research. And the point for I said was, because your data's bad, you don't have good analytics. So what if you had smarter information? What if you had insight that you didn't have before? CX Vision gives us the ability to change that customer experience without intruding on people's identity. So the idea is that we can work with any camera system that's out there, API into it, and give that company information about who's coming in from age, sex, peak rates and times, and then also emotion. Are they engaging? How they're engaging? Content that they're engaging with? What is their gaze through rate? How long are they looking at advertising? So this allows that business to have very finite data based on the interaction. The idea is to take away the guesswork in terms of advertising. The number one thing that business owners are looking for is increased profitability and increased revenue. This helps drive that. One of the use cases that we had, we figured out that there was a bus by the south entrance of this mall. So that with that bus there, not only did you have younger crowds walking through that door, you had a different diverse of male and female coming into that door. So the ad that you would put there as you're first coming in that door needs to fit that demographic. What was there was something that didn't fit. So their gaze rate was low. They would look at it and then as walk by as if it wasn't there. So say their gaze rate was at a 2 seconds. When they put an ad that fit that demographic, it went from 2 seconds to 9 seconds. Future-proofing of investments comes from the idea that should you, could you, and having smart data to go with that. If you're going to expand your company and you want to know where people are and how they interact in those spaces, this can give you an idea of that. It's giving you the intelligence that you need to make better decisions. By making better decisions, saving money, and being more effective. The great thing is that if you already have a camera solution, you don't need the end device. We can just plug into your cameras and roll this out and do a POV. It's not full facial recognition, it's audience engagement. So where we stop at legally is we don't identify a person. So it doesn't say Tim Smith. It says male, 19, average age. That's sad. This isn't a cybersecurity solution. This is audience engagement, customer satisfaction, business-driven solution. It's probably about 3 inches by 2 inches deep. We're working on making it smaller. Inside is a camera, some memory, and a little, very small amount of compute.
So did I look sad?
Surprised. You can stick these things anywhere there's a power socket. We've put it outside, we've put it indoors. Our next iteration will probably have its own internal battery. It's only going to get better. As we talk more and more about IoT, the thing that triggered me as a solution provider is there is no invitation. You gotta dive in and you gotta start solving problems. Because as IoT and OT combine, you're gonna see a bigger demand from your clients. Traditional IT is changing, margins are falling. So as OT grows, it's going to be the new leading portion of that. So desktop support is not going to be the lead in. It's going to be, can you manage the millions of IoT devices that I have in my building? Everything from my key card access down to the refrigerator that may be in the break room. So it's going to change drastically. First step is to specialize, find a problem that needs to be solved, and then solve it using IT or OT. That will give them the answers that they need and a target for them to get in there. Because once you're in, then you can easily replicate to other areas. Now, meeting people, that means getting on the road and going to conferences and evaluating and figuring out who's gonna partner with you best. Adding data scientists, adding mechanical engineers, and adding DevOps gave us the ability to have a 3-pronged approach to technology that we didn't have before. There's a lot of companies out there that have ready-to-go IoT solutions. That's probably your first way to go. And then there's a lot of engineers and makerspaces that are doing a lot with making IoT stuff. So a makerspace is a funded space, nonprofit or profit, where people can come in and tinker. And there's tools there, there's machinery there. So if you have a prototype of an idea, you're no longer doing it in your garage. There's this huge community across the United States that you can go to and work together. I would say that each major city has at least 4 or 5 now. We spent about 1.5 years touring makerspaces across the country. It just takes patience and a vision. And then once you understand that, following through and finding the right people.